Today is day number 1 of my new solo entrepreneur journey. My new routine as I start in my side business working for myself full time. I sell trading cards full time. Man, does it feel good to say that. I feel free. I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock and I didn't feel any regret. I didn't feel any hesitation to get up and get the day started. I wasn't worried about what was going to happen at work today. I get to do my own thing. So really, this journey started a long time ago. I've been building up to this point for a long time. And Friday was actually my first real day of solo entrepreneurship. Solo trading card venture. Thursday was my last day at my W-2 job. And Friday, I took off and headed up to Minnesota for a big card show that I do 3 times a year. And it started pretty brutal. I have a friend of mine that told me that don't be surprised if the next week feels really weird. Or next week or 2 feels really weird and some weird things start happening. And boy, was he right. So we loaded up the kids and had to go get our rental and bring it back home to load it up. We don't have a vehicle that's reliable enough to get us up to a 4-hour trip. And not only that, we don't really have anything that's big enough to haul all my stuff. Not yet anyways, but that'll come. Anyways, I had to get this rental. I booked it about a week ago, and come to find out, it was the wrong size. Now, whether I booked the wrong size or they booked the wrong size, whatever it is, we get there and they tell me, here's your car. And I was like, well, this isn't going to work. Do you have anything bigger? And they didn't. So I had to go shop around. I canceled that, went and looked for another one. First place we stopped, nope, they don't have one either. I finally found one that had a big enough vehicle for us, so we drove. Ended up wasting about an hour of time trying to get there to get a new rental. We finally get the new rental, load it up, head back home, get everything packed up, into the car, off we go. We're about an hour down the road, hour and a half, and we get a flat. So we pull over and I'm going to change the tire. I call the rental place and they say, well, do you want us to come change it or are you going to change it? And I said, I'll change it because by the time you get here, it's going to be an hour before you get to me. So I have it changed by then. Anyways, I get the jack out and start jacking it up. And I think about halfway through the jack, I'm like, I think I'm going to run out of jack. And guess what? I get all the way to the top of the jack with no more to turn. And I don't have enough room. I don't have enough room to get the tire off. And not only that, I had to spend an hour jacking it up because the jack handle didn't fit over top of the jack correctly. Here I am cursing engineers the whole time. I'm sorry if any of you guys are engineers, but man, coming out of the body shop, I was cursing engineers all the time. And I just had to curse them again that one time. Anyways, luckily, there was a really nice gentleman that stopped and said he lived about he lived about a mile away, and he's got a floor jack and an impact, and he'd be right back and help us out. So that was really cool. I really appreciated that. He ended up coming back, jacked the car up. He says, get off the highway, man. These people are flying past you. I say, yeah, they are. 4-lane highway. So he helped us out, and that was awesome. I thanked him. I offered him some money. Of course, he didn't take it because that's not what he was in it for, which I really appreciated it. So we got to get back on the road, turn around, backtrack about a half hour back to a different town to swap out our vehicle. We get to the rental place, and they don't have a big enough vehicle for us. They had a truck, which I said, well, I'd like to have it enclosed, but I guess we can make this truck work. So sure. We'll get this truck. So we all hop in the truck, and we're about hungry by this time because it's noon. And we go stop and get some lunch. I'm like, I better just check that radar, make sure it's not going to rain on us. Well, guess what? It's going to rain on us. So all that stuff that I have in the back of the truck is going to get all wet. So we had another hour to our time and head over to Walmart and wrap everything up in a tarp and some straps, which cost me about another $100 because I didn't have time to run home and grab them. Anyways, so yeah, and then we finally got on the road, and long story short, which was a pretty long story, We get up there about 10 hours it took us. It was a 4-hour trip. It took us 10 hours to get up there. That was brutal, and it was hard to stay positive through that whole thing. And honestly, it kind of hit me really hard on Sunday. I made a short video showing my showcases, and I was tired. Man, I was tired. Anyways, so we started the show on Saturday. Saturday went pretty well. It was kind of slower than I expected. It was busy. It was steady. I did okay in sales. I didn't do great. I would have liked to have done a lot better considering the circumstances getting up there. But that was okay. And then Sunday was pretty slow, which is okay. We stayed there the whole time and ended up, Sunday paid for the trip, basically. So everything I made on Saturday was all, well, it wasn't all profit because clearly I've got cost of goods, but I did okay. I did okay. Moral of this story is that even if you're going to go full time and you think you've got the world by its ass and you're going to just stroll through life and do what you want, there are still going to be bumps and bruises along the way, and life is going to throw wrenches at you, and you just got to pick them up and turn the handles. So yesterday was a little bit of a weird day too. I had to do a bunch of running around, pick up my dogs. I went and visited my family. So today's Tuesday. I actually didn't start my new routine until today. We'll see. It's going to take a while to get into my routine. Once I start getting into my routine, I'll share it with you guys so that you guys can learn from what I'm doing. And yeah, maybe you guys can sell some cards on eBay and go to card shows and just learn from each other. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to put myself out there and share my journey with you guys so you can learn as well. Life is bumpy at times, but we all get through it. I wouldn't have it any other way because, man, I'm standing outside. Got up at 6 o'clock this morning. Standing outside. I'm going to go inside and get a cup of coffee here real quick before the kiddos wake up and start my journey of doing my own thing for myself, and my kids are going to be right next to me while I do it. That's going to be pretty awesome. All right, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.